Vatican University hosted a one-day event today examining the relations between members of the Catholic and Jewish faiths. The Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas, also known as the ANGELICUM, hosted a conference where experts focus on the challenges facing Jews and Catholics since the end of Vatican II in the 1960s. We go now to Dr. Matthew Tapie, Associate Professor of Theology and Director of the Center for Catholic Jewish Studies at St. Leo University in Florida. Dr. Tapie, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Can you tell us a little bit more about the conference and what were some of the highlights?
Sure. Today was the beginning of a very important conference here in Rome, co-sponsored by the Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas and also the John Paul II Center for Interreligious Dialogue. The conference is significant because it focuses on the historic relationship between Catholics and Jews since the Second Vatican Council. The conference will go to tomorrow. I'm participating in it as a presenter, and I'm joined by numerous leading scholars in Catholic Jewish relations at this conference.
And since the Second Vatican Council in the 1960s, what has been the most important and symbolic moments for dialogue between Catholics and Jews, and why is Vatican II really the starting point?
That's a great question. The Second Vatican Council fundamentally updated the Church's teaching with regard to its relationship to all the world's religions, but it did so in a special way with Judaism and the Jewish people. And so at the Second Vatican Council, the Church basically rejected some negative Christian ideas that had been said in the past by some Christians, but it also fundamentally highlighted the positive relationship between Judaism and Catholicism. And so in doing so, it essentially taught that the Jewish people remain dearly beloved to God. It reached all the way back to St. Paul's teaching in Romans chapter 11 specifically, and provided the Church with a really robust and strong biblical foundation for a new relationship.
We have about a minute or so left, but I'm curious, what are your hopes and expectations for relations between members of the Catholic and Jewish faiths going forward?
You know, that's another good question. Since the time of the Council, fundamental significant changes have been made and some fundamental significant developments have taken place. I would say probably look closely at the lives of the popes. St. Pope John Paul II, Pope Benedict, and also Pope Francis have all made significant strides in developing real relationships with rabbis and with Jewish thinkers, and that has really caused a significant transformation of the Church's relationship. Judaism is now viewed as spiritually alive, and Jews and Judaism are our friends as Catholics. We partner together and we learn from one another, and so that really is also the orientation for the future. It's set us on a path of mutual study and mutual conversation and mutual understanding, and that's what this conference is about.
Well, Dr. Tapie, thank you for sharing all that with us. We appreciate it, and thank you for being with us today.